Welcome students to the lecture of FC, that is Foundation of Cyber uh, Crime Concept or Cyber Security Concepts. So I'm just sharing my desktop with you. Now in last lecture we have seen from the first unit about the basics of cybercrime. Then what are the different trends in cybercrime? There are only two trends in cybercrime, specifically speaking. One is human psychology based. Another trend is what we call as a technology based or knowledge based. So in knowledge based trend, you require some expertise of computer science and engineering, programming and everything. So you can go for that purpose. So and then we have seen cybercrime and information security. Okay, so today we are going to discuss cybercrime and information security in a brief, and then we go on discussing on the cyber criminals. Okay, cyber classification of cybercrime and cyber defamation will come in the flow. Okay, so today we are going to finish our unit number 1. Okay, so be what you can say, patient when we discuss these things. So we'll go with the information cyber crime and information security. First, we are going to discuss this point. Well, my proxy reader is here. We are going to use that. So we are saying that is, we are going to say there is cybercrime and information security. So a crime is something when someone want to enter in your system unauthenticated. So when it comes to information security, okay. So this information security is actually have three things in it. One is called as authentication. Second is called as authorization, and third what we call as a data security. Data security have different aspect. One is what we call as a at receiver end, sorry, at sender end, or what we can say at source, at what you can say sender's end, in transition, and at storage or receiver end, or receiver's end. Data security goes. Okay, so let's try to discuss these things in a simple terminology. What do you mean by authentication? So suppose you are having something. Authentication means verifying your truthfulness. Now, when I'm saying here truthfulness, okay. When we say your truthfulness, verifying your truthfulness means whether it's you or not. So you are given with some identity, general term in authentication that you are authenticated by username and password system. So the system generally authenticate you using username and password system. Okay, you are getting this. Now what is authorization? This is, I'm just discussing in a very what you can say, authorization, allowing you the access, okay, or permission to carry out your business after authentication. For example, say suppose you enter in some building, you are shown your guest pass. Okay, so because you are a guest, you are allowed to go into the building. Or so suppose in Infosys building you go, you got a guest pass, so you are given shown that guest pass, security allowed you. That is what we call say authentication. They see that gate pass and you are authenticated person, so you are allowed to enter into the building. But now say suppose you want to go into say R&D department. There this gets past own work. Even if you are an authenticated person, an authorization is required. That is, you require some rights, so allowing you the access or permission to carry out your business whatever things. So in software, generally what happen when we go in some banking application, we generally first log in into the banking system using our username and password. That is, you are authenticated, you are given with your username and password, you are authenticated. But to do money transaction, we once again need to enter our transaction password and OTP and likewise. So that is called as an authorization. That is, now you are authorized to do the things even if you are authenticated. Okay, now why these two things are required, authentication and authorization, for the information security to avoid cybercrime? Because this will actually give two-step check to some intruder. Let's say suppose your account is hacked, banking account is hacked, you are having your username ABC, password something ABC. Okay, and that person got this username and password and he entered into your bank account. Now he can read the bank statement, he can do all those things. But let's suppose you want to change your password. Okay, you want to change your password. What the bank system will do, it will say no. If you really want to change the password in person, you have to submit that particular application in the nearest branch of the bank, or you have to do to do this authorization. You have to enter your UID or other things, and they will send an OTP on the UID link, what you can say, mobile phone, and then that is, so that is what we call as authorization to do some changes into that account. Means even if you get entry into that particular bank account, you won't get what you say rights to transfer money from the bank account. How many of you have done NEFT or any other transfer? Hello students, आप में से कितने लोगों ने NEFT ट्रांसफर किया है अब तक? अबू जैद, hello, you have done banking transfer transactions?
Yes, sir, one time.
One time. And what you got? First entry password and then authorization, OTP, transaction OTP. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So why these things are? This is I'm just telling you. Say suppose this Abu Zaid account is hacked. Means his username and password is say known by someone. Okay, and that someone want to transfer the money from his account to other some other account. But if he fail to authorize that transaction, he won't what you can say get hands on the money of Abu Zaid even after getting into his account, and that is what we call as a security. Okay, so security not directly start with the data; it start with your authentication. R is there, authentication and authorization. So when you authenticate the person, he is simply allowed to enter into the system. Means when say suppose you want, if you go in a Google, okay, now Google is giving you the two-stage what can you say authentication, that is authentication plus authorization system. That is, if you want to make any changes in his account, it first sends you an OTP. It first sends you an OTP on your registered mobile number. Okay, and when you enter that OTP, then only it allow you to make any changes into his account setting. That is what we call an authorization. So even if someone get your username and password, that person will not allow to do certain critical operation without authorization. Okay, now what are the critical operations? The operations which involves money or sensitive data. Operations which involves money or sensitive data. Now money you know, but what is sensitive data? Let's say suppose you are a doctor and you are say giving treatment to someone, a person who is of what you can say critical value to the economy. Let's say suppose you are treating Ambani, you are a doctor and you are treating Ambani. Now the health report card of Ambani can cause many steals into the share market. Yeah, so hackers are always what you can say have their what you can say concentration on such type of doctors account, so that they can get the health report card of the such some eminent personalities which can affect the economy of the nation, or which can affect some part of the nation in some way. Now, if that person get access to the account folder where this data is stored in the hospital's database, then it will be very dangerous for the hospital. So generally, the hospital systems have, if the online data storage is there, they are generally have such type of authorization systems. Now, in authentication and authorization system, there are many technologies are in use. Those technologies are for authentication and authorization. When both are applied, it is called as two-stage verification. Okay, verification. Two-stage verification means you get a password and also you have to send a OTP, one-time password. Okay, through your register number. Then and then only you get access to your account. So even if someone get your username and password, he or she won't get access to your account if you is unable to enter the second password, that is an OTP, into that particular account. So it's for the sensitive data and other things. Okay, some system goes with the multi passwords things, and likewise you also can use the Captcha. Okay, to identify the human from the robots. Two-stage verification, Captcha, these can be used for authentication and authorization. Means with password you can use Captcha instead of sending the something like what you can say the OTP and like. So that is authorization. Now comes the data security. Now what is data security is? So we'll go with the at sender send. So at sender send, that is you are sending data to someone. Now what is sender send? When we say sender send here, we are sending this data from our computer, and when we send the data from our computer, okay, our computer, if it is affected by some virus and something, then this data may carry that virus to the other computer. That is the one possibility. Okay, so such type of data is can considered as a insecure data. Okay, this data is fatal, it can spread the insecurity. Another thing is that senders in means when you types this data, okay, your computer itself is vulnerable to different type of attacks from the different what you can say cyber criminals like hackers, sniffers, middleman attack, and likewise they can check your data and something. So at senders end, this data security is ensured using proper antiviruses. Why I think proper antiviruses? Uh, why? Okay, you can have this proper antivirus system. You can have malware detection system. Okay, you can have the malware detection system. Malware are not the viruses. Malware are some applications which actually uh, mm, gives you some utility, and in background try to steal the data from your computer. Try to steal the data from your computer. So if your PC is say malware affected, let's say suppose you downloaded some free game and that game is trying to steal the data from your computer, and you are doing certain type of research and they found that okay, and you know that research is something very important nowadays, and if that research data is stolen by this malware and sent to the initiator, you may fail in getting your patents and other things, and that is what can say malware detection. In some corporate data is there, so at sender's end you must have a proper antivirus, malware detection and prevention systems installed. All okay, good firewall. When say firewall, we can cannot rely only on a simple firewall or simple settings. You have to have a good firewall. So this ensures the data security at the sender's end. Now comes the data security in transition. Okay, I am saying the data security or information security in transition. In transition. So when you send this data over the network, when you send data over network, what happens, data is sent in a plain format, and if the data is sent in a plain format, then that data can be read by any middleman means hacker or a sniffer or anyone who can have access to your communication. Okay, so generally when you are on data security in transition, you apply two type of what you can say terminology. One is called as steganography. Okay, so steganography. Okay, the steganography is what you can say the way of sending what you can say information in some kind of envelope, so that the authenticate user only get direct access to the information. Okay, to the information. So what happens in steganography, you generally have say some data. Let's say suppose this is the data. This data get enveloped into some other information. Okay, into some other information, so this data become unreadable. And if some middleman see this data, it must have to know how to open this envelope to read this data. For example, say suppose if I want to type say if I go on creating some image here, let's say suppose this is an image. Okay, and this in this image, if I make some changes, a little changes, the human eyes can't detect those changes very easily. So it is possible for me to embed some data, means I can embed all this text into this image. How? Because the one what you can say, when we have one what is simple thing, and that is when we go with a say that some pixel, that is image unit. Okay, it have RG and B, so something that is a red, green and blue. So to store the red information, you require 8 bits for G, 8 bits, and for B 8 bits. So you total get what you can say around 24 bits of information available here. So out of the 24 bits information, if you make a change in the 1 bit at a least position, okay, so LSB, that is the least significant bit, that is you are making change to store your actual data. So instead of say storing something like 100, and let's say you are having this as 0 is as your LSB, but you simply change this LSB to 1. If you change this LSB to 1, it's not going to make much change into your image. Now let's say suppose in your image you are having, in your image you are having such data, such information which is somewhere say at so bit changes are done on the line number 3, then bit changes are done on the line number 7, then bit changes are done on the line number 11, like that. So if you say that is alternate prime number, if you say that you are using the alternate prime number line for this number change, to read the information I must have to have that particular application ready which will read that information from this image. Otherwise the middle person will come to know that guess that you are only sending the image, when that is this image act as an envelope. So that is a steganography. You can have an embedded data into certain message, means say suppose if you say someone to read only the first letter of this word, this what you can say uh, mm, sentence, then it can create some type of message. Just consider. Now you are reading, you send this sentence to your say someone, and you only have to read the first letter of this sentence. And let's say suppose you are having a book at your side, you are having a book at your side, okay, and every letter, every word means say the chapter number. So this is chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, chapter number 4, chapter number 5, and chapter number 6. This is known to you, and this is also known to the receiver. Receiver is also having the same book, same book, same edition. Okay, now what the receiver will get? Receiver will get this message, but the middleman will read this message, he will not get anything. He will not get anything out of this message. It only says that is proper antivirus malware detection and prevention systems. But say suppose if I say that proper is chapter 1, and chapter 1 you are having P1. Okay, so you can say chapter 1 paragraph 1. Here you can say chapter 2 article 1. Here you can say chapter 3 and you can say mid paragraph like something. So every letter is having some meaning. Then you will get the ready text available here. So you won't require to send the entire message also. Okay, so this is called as an enveloping. You got this? Hello? Or this is called as steganography. Okay, I'm going to ask the questions to someone. Uh, okay, to whom I should ask? Okay, Gaurav Salonke. You understood him? Gaurav? You can speak, Gaurav.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So simple thing here. So when we say this, this is a steganography that we are using to send the messages. Messages are sent either embedded into image, or messages are sent like this. So you are having certain logic. So steganography can be implemented in a different way. The only thing is that you are having a large message which is of no importance, okay, or a very large unimportant text you can have, and from that very large unimportant text you can give a hint to the user, that is a receiver, that he have to read like we say 1 2 3. If you give this if you are saying 1 2 3 and you are on the text, okay, that 1 2 3 means maybe the first line, second word, third letter. Okay, first line, second word, third letter, first line, second word, third letter. Okay, and if I add a p with that, 1 2 3 p means in each paragraph I have to go for the first line, second word, and third letter. So This P123 will say that is in each paragraph I have to go for the first line, second word, third letter, and then if I mark only those third letter from every first line of all the paragraph, I will get the actual message. I will get the actual message. That is one type of steganography. Another way for the data security in transition is used, and that way is called as encryption and decryption. Okay, encryption and decryption, where message itself is modified into something non-understandable gibberish, and then that gibberish means something which is something, and that is then transferred from sender to receiver. And there are two encryption decryption things. One is called as end to end. He in end to end, actually the user have no role as such. Okay, and another is called as what you can say user based. So this is called as a public key encryption system, or PKE, encryption decryption system, or PKED. So in end to end, generally what the system itself has the encryption algorithm, and that algorithm is known to the system only. So nobody know how the data get encrypted, and system sends that data to the receiver. At receiver end, it's having the decryption algorithm, so nobody know how it get decrypted. So in between, to get this data, because key is never shared with anybody, you don't know the things. In PKID, that is public key or private key encryption decryption system, okay, you are having a special key. In a private key, the key for encryption and decryption is known to the circle where this data is sent and received, and they decrypt this data using the key. Means we have given that example, that is if I send the message ABC, okay, and if you are in this encryption decryption routine which says 3, okay, which says 3, so the sender will send the message like that is key is a 3, and you are having the message M. This is a simple thing. So sender will send like this, okay, ed, okay, message is ABC comma plus 3. Yeah, so when it's received this by plus 3, the message at its receiver's end will be like ed, and you will go with the what you can say, whatever the message that you received. Okay, whatever the message that you are received, let's say this M is ABC, M dash is what the message received by you. So I'm seeing M1 here, M1, and you are seeing minus 3. So you get the message ABC something. So this is end to end, which is WhatsApp and other type of social media systems are using. In public key, in private key, what happens? This key is known to the everybody in a circle, and they use that key to decrypt the message and encrypt the message. In public key, you have the two different keys. One key is to encrypt the message, one key is to decrypt the message. One key is to decrypt the message, and that something that the key which is used to decrypt the message is generally private, and the key which is used to encrypt the message is generally public. And this key which is used to encrypt the message can't be used to decrypt the message. You have to use the other key to decrypt the message. So that is complex way of this. So data is generally encrypted. That is, suppose you want to send ABC plus, then like it will go into the DEF and some, and then that data get transferred over the network. So in transition, such type of data become quite difficult to what you can say get and or understand, and so that data securities or information securities ensure. Now, data security is at the storage or the receiver's end. Once again, just like at the sender's end, you require to have the proper antivirus, malware detection, prevention systems, and good firewalls. Also, the same things you require at the receiver's end, because his computer is also vulnerable to the other types of attack. And if you don't have the proper antivirus, malware detection, and prevention system, the data which was securely transferred, okay, over the network, but now at the storage that data got stolen by some what you can say attacker, because the system is not properly secure, the data security can become the problem. So at senders and receivers end, you have to employ the same thing: proper antivirus system, malware detection and prevention system. So you got what is this cyber crime and information security in brief. Okay, so this will allow these information security routines help to people to allow what you can say the keep their data or transactions more secure. Now we are going to see the next point of the cyber criminals. Okay, cyber criminals. Now, before that, before saying the cyber criminals, let's try to understand the cyber crime. What is crime actually? Criminals actually. So, whom you can call criminal? Anybody of you? आप क्रिमिनल किसको बोल सकते हो? भागवत, खामकर, whom you can call criminal? तुम्ही गुन्हेगार कोणाला म्हणाल? भागवत you can.
Sir,
Huh? Okay, you are not able to answer the thing. Okay. Dhruv, who you will call criminal? Okay. Just speak. Dhruv. Dhruv Joshi. Okay. Well, I will not waste my time just asking the same questions for too many people. I'm just asking now. Anybody who how what you can say want to speak, you can speak. Just unmute yourself. Rishikesh. Yes. Whom you call?
sir, who have broken the laws?
Oh, whoever broke the law is criminal. That is correct. Okay. But when we say the criminal, not breaking all the laws make you the criminal. Okay, because breaking every law is not what you can say uh, punishable. Some only give you warning and likewise. So, what is crime? Crime is when you are harming someone or you are harming serenity of life, simply financially, physically, or mentally. Okay, so what are the criminal when the crime takes place? Generally crime takes place when you have that type of intention. Okay, so when we have the crimes are only of two type: intentional crime, intentional, or what we call as planned crime. Okay, and non-intentional crime, non-intentional or accidental crime. Whether the crimes happen in what you can say cyber world or in real world, these are the only two type of what you say crimes. Now let's consider what is non-intentional or accidental crime. You are going from your home to your office on your vehicle, say on a two-wheeler or in four-wheeler, or say in a public vehicle or something. Okay, are you going from your home to your office to commit something which is called as a crime? No, obviously we are not going for that purpose. But let's say suppose suddenly in on a road, okay, you lose control on your what you can say vehicle and strike someone. Okay, and that someone fall on the road, you also fall on the road, an accident happen, so you become a criminal in the eye of law, because you cause the accident and you harm some person physically always a person if get physically harmed, he require the hospital, so he's financially also harmed. Okay, and when someone get harmed like physically and financially, he also get the mentally harmed. Yeah, so this is the non-intentional crime, accidental crime. आपके हाथ से गुनाह हो जाता, that is you are making something, means you are just doing your work and accidentally something happens which what you can say cause harm to many people or one person or someone, then we can call as a non-intentional accidental crimes. Almost all, that's why we call it as accidents and not as a crime. Okay, but still accident is considered as a crime in the eye of law. Okay, so these are the non-intentional crime. Then intentional or planned crimes. Okay, what are the intentional or planned crime? You and your friend is there, and both are very close to each other, and you are going for chai nasta, these das, all type of parties and everything together. Okay, every now and then, but say suppose something happens between you and your friend, something that is, and now your friend is thinking that you are not his friend but an enemy, so he will try to what you can say do some harm to you, but for that purpose this person will go on planning. हाँ? वो एकदम से आपको लात उससे मारेगा नहीं, he will not beat you at the instant only, he will try to beat you using different type of tactics and something, so this is called as a plan crime. Okay, now these plan crime are generally of two type, one is called as a white collar crime and another is generally called as a crime. White collar crimes are, we call it as a petty politics. Let's say suppose you are in an organization. Okay, you are in a some organization working there, and you reach a upper ladder very fast. The other people surrounding you which act friendly with you start getting jealousy. ओके, स्टार्ट गेटिंग जेलसी, होता है ना ऐसे। आपके क्लास में अगर आप सब लोग हैं और कोई बच्चा है जो थोड़ा सा होशियार है, तेज है, और थोड़ा आगे निकल जाए किसी सर को या किसी कौन के मैडम को उनके सब्जेक्ट में वो अच्छा लगे, एंड इफ ही और शी गिव सम व्हाट यू कैन से मोर अटेंशन टू सच स्टूडेंट, बाकी के स्टूडेंट क्या करते हैं, आउट ऑफ जेलसी दे स्टार्ट अनोइंग दिस पर्सन, होता है ना ऐसे। यस नो कुछ तो बोलो यार। हेलो हॅलो, रोहित काळभांडे, होतं की नाही असं? कोणी समोर गेलं तर आपल्याला थोडासा राग येतो ना। अरे हो नाही काही तर बोल। हॅलो, ॲटलीस्ट स्पीक वन वर्ड। वेदांत, वेदांत तापडिया,
Yes, sir.
होता है ना ऐसे।
हाँ.
So this is a common nature of human being. Okay, this is not something that we are committing the crime. This happens out of common nature. Okay, we always get jealous of someone who go what you can say ahead of us, and when we and without any what you can say enmity, without any enmity, आपकी और उसकी कोई दुश्मनी नहीं होती है, but still you start to play something so that the progress of that person will become difficult. Okay, so this called as a petty political crime, these are the white collar crime. ओके इसमें कैसे होता है फिर, जनरली वी वॉन्ट देन गिव कोऑपरेशन टू सच पर्सन, ओके, और we simply misguide him, or we simply spread rumors regarding this person. Okay, so spreading such type of rumors is called as defamation. ये रियल लाइफ में बहुत बार होता है, ठीक है ना। दैट इज से सपोज इफ यू गेट सम good position within a very less time, when you join some organization, many people become automatically what you can say jealous of you, and they start spreading false news about you अथॉरिटीज़ एंड समथिंग, उनको गलत बताते हो आपके बारे में, सर अरे आप लोग समझते हो बहुत अच्छा ये है, बट ही इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट एंड समथिंग, और शी इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट एंड समथिंग। तो इसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि द पीपल in the start to get something misinformation about this person. This is called as a defamation. ये real life में होता है. The same thing happens in cyber world also, in social media and something. Okay, so when so in social media or in something cyber world, you spread rumors, about someone which actually minify or which actually uh, defame that person in a different way. मतलब अभी समझो, if someone is talking something, this happens in political scenario in many times. The complete address of the person is never broadcasted by the news channels. They simply what you can say, pick the certain words, and on that certain words they play the repeated news to spread some rumors or something. They actually want to get the TRP, but when they get this TRP, they actually cause cyber famation or defamation. I call this as a फेमेशन, निगेटिव फेमेशन, व्हाट यू कैन से। वो एक गाना है ना, जब से मैं जरा सा बदनाम हो गया, राम कसम मेरा बड़ा नाम हो गया, लाइक दैट। सो व्हेन यू मेक समवन so you can become famous negatively. That is what the defamation. मतलब समझो, you and your friend are very good on say Facebook and something, but your friend and actually behave in a different way with you, and now you want to take a revenge on him. So what you generally do, you will send some what do you say, bad comments on him or her in what you can see your known circle, and then it will spread like a fire, and that is cyber defamation. That is intentional or planned crime, and it is a crime to defame someone. Say suppose here we are having Sujit Bendarkar and we are having Suyesh Biradar. Consider these two are the very good friends, and I hope these two may be the good friends. But say suppose Sujit and Suyesh got some conflict with each other, so Suyesh becomes jealous to the Sujit. Okay, he said that is okay, my name is Suyesh, but yes, that is a success is getting to the Sujit, let make this person bad in the eyes of other. So and he started doing something like that. What this is, obviously this is a crime. Okay, this is not going to happen between these two people because they are very wise persons, Sujit and Suresh. They are not going to do such type of things. I know this, but just as an example. So what happens? This is a crime. So when you spread something wrong information about someone, okay, unnecessarily, it is a crime. Or sometimes what happens? We take the law. We actually abuse the law. Abusing law means, say, suppose there is a law that if someone stare at a girl for more than few minutes, okay, then it comes as a crime of you teasing. Okay, so some girl decide to take a revenge on you. It's very easy for her to do such type of what you can say complaint to police and something. So these things are what you can call as a defamation. इससे क्या होता है, आप बदनाम हो जाते हो, and this defamation can cause you your job. This defamation sometimes cause you your life, because if you are mentally weak, the defamation can cause you to commit suicide. Okay, or this defamation even cause sometime sometime makes you murderous. मतलब कोई पर्सन का जब बहुत डिफेम हो जाता है and he is mentally weak, instead of committing suicide he become very ferocious and he make commit something. जैसे that one driver from I don't know if I'm PMT or this ST or something from this Pune. I actually not recalling the name of the driver, but if you check that incident, his colleagues and what you can say, these higher authorities actually tried to means what we call this as nag him on many time. So he become mentally unstable and he drive his that ST bus on the passengers, pedestrians, and 8 people died in that accident. So this type of things happens, but this type of crimes, when it comes to hate speech or rumor, these are all planned crimes. These are planned to create riots. These are planned to ruin someone's career. These are the planned crimes, and such criminals must have to be get punished. But the problem is, in such type of crimes, if they are not of type cyber crime, you hardly get any what you can say proof. You hardly get any proofs or any type of evidence, and the person suffers due to that defamation unnecessarily. And it generally happens with everybody. Okay, it's not something an exception that is happen only with you or only with me. It happens with everybody in our complete lifespan. Okay, we also defame someone, someone also defame us, because jealousy is something which is the basis behind this. Then second is the power game. Second is the power game. Everybody want to reach at the top. So if someone is reaching at the top, the person who found it is quite difficult to reach at the top will try to, what you can say, pull back the person who is reaching at the top, and there comes the cyber defamation. मतलब समझो some a student is very good at some certain type of things, you can create some mosaic pictures or some films or some photo of his with something, and you can create some funny memes and you can spread it on Facebook and social media, and the person become the object of fun. That is what happened with many political leaders. A particular type of slang words are used every time to say that this particular person is having क्या बोलते हैं उसको, कुछ अकल नहीं है, गधा है बेचारा, like that. And people easily accept these things, and the person's image become quite what you can say uh, deteriorated, and that is what the defamation, cyber defamation, that is comes in the this crime. Then we are going to see about the cyber criminal section. Now what are the two, there are only two type of cyber criminals. One who use the technology but they are not expert in technology. They use the technology, but core is human nature to commit the crime, like phishing. Okay, that is the core is the human nature. And another are the technical. So when it comes to cyber criminals, there are technical criminals. These are hackers, crackers. They hack into your system, stole some data, and use that data for their advantage. Not always they ransom you. Sometimes, say, suppose you are being a say engineer, or say suppose you are working, say you got a job in say DRDO. Okay, after completion of your degree, now your laptop is having some crucial information of certain project, a secret project, which is of which you are a part. In that case, a hacker can enter into your system and can steal that data. It won't send you any ransomware note or anything. Only steal that research data so that they can sell that data to somebody, someone who is interested in that data. So such type of crimes are there. So when it comes to technical crime, the 90% of technical crime, as per my opinion, I am not saying that this is a truth, but as per my opinion, the 90% of technical crime in cyber world are simply sniffing crimes. Means they sniff and steal the data, and they won't send you any ransomware, and then they sell this data to the someone who is interested in getting that data. For example, let's say suppose you are working on some atomic device, research on some atomic device, and that data is stolen. How many other enemy countries are interested in such type of data? Too many. Okay, so these countries will automatically ready to give you lump sum amount of this such type of data. So many times such type of countries actually gives you the money just to hack into other nation systems and this type of things what we call as espionage or spying. So 90% of such type of technical crimes are generally committed by the I'm sorry to say, but by the governments of different nations just to ensure the security of their nation. Okay, means we want to secure our nation, we need to commit such type of crime. Okay, so crimes, these are the intentional and planned crimes. Okay, now comes to the criminal, the crimes which are punishable. Like say crimes that is stalking is one thing. Stalking is something that you first send message to the person, becomes the friend with the person, and then you get some obsessive, what you can say, uh, you owning for this person and you start sending some abusive messages and likewise or threat that person online on email on phone or something, then that is a cyber crime. Cyber doesn't mean that you have always have to send them email. Even if you call someone on your using your mobile, okay, you are using the internet and everything, it is a cyber crime. So stalking is the one cybercrime. Then another cybercrime is sending the obscene material, maximum time the pornographic material to someone, or sharing such type of material. Such material is called as a contraband material. Contraband means prohibited by law. So anything prohibited by law, when you share it, these are the that is cybercrime. Okay, say suppose a gun is prohibited by law to be owned by a common person without any common person means a citizen without any proper licensing from the government. Means आपके पास अगर गन रखने का लाइसेंस नहीं है, then if you have the gun it is considered as a crime. Okay, but if you get a license or the permission from the government to have the gun with you for your safety and security, then it is not a crime. So without license, if you are having the gun with you, it is a crime. So contraband material, what we can call this, contraband means the material which require the permission of law. Okay, or means say suppose even if you go with the liquor. Okay, if someone is drinking alcohol, let's say, and if he is not having the license to drink the alcohol from the government, he can be booked under the IPC and can be given the what you can say punishment of 1 year or jail and the fine. Okay, so this is what we call say the things. So you require that those type of things, and that is what we can say the law. Selling something on internet, okay, selling something on internet which is prohibited by law is also a crime. Means say suppose you are selling online medicine and you don't have any license to sell such medicine online, then it is a crime. So crime doesn't mean that it is, but such type of crimes are generally intentional. Such type of crimes are generally intentional, and planned crimes they are not non-intentional. Non-intentional crimes are accidental or rage based. मतलब आपको बहुत गुस्सा आ गया, आपने किसी का सर तोड़ दिया, that is what we call as a non-intentional crime. क्योंकि it is proven by science also that when person go into rage, actually his brain stops working. Okay, so he is almost in the position of not making a proper decisions, and so it is called as a non-intentional crime. गुस्से में किसी का मार देना, गुस्से में किसी को कुछ कर देना, that is not the intentional crime, that is a non-intentional crime. And this happens with everybody, because after some certain type of, you can say, suppression, we may or may not or can say stand with the abuse, and in rage we may do something which was never planned by us. Okay, which was never planned by us, and that is a non-intentional crime, but still it is a crime because it harms the people, it harms the serenity of life, it harms the financial or mental status of that particular person towards whom that crime was happened, or crime is happened. So this is all about the first unit. Then classification of cybercrime we have already seen in yesterday's lecture. We have seen that there are human nature based cybercrimes are there, and another is what we say technical crimes. So if you have any questions, queries, or something, you can ask me. Uh, we will discuss for next 5 minutes, and then we will stop the lecture. Madam. Good morning, madam. नाही नाही ती बी ओ एसची मीटिंग आपली झालेलीच नाही आहे याची. ती कॉम्प्युटरची झाली होती. नागपूर लोकांसोबत हेनरी सर वगैरे होते त्याच्यात ती फाईल त्यांच्याकडेच आहे. हॅलो. सो नो क्वेश्चन्स. So let me take your attendance then as per the instructions given by Ayan, Inamdar, Abhilash, Madhur, Abu Zaid Sheikh, Aditya Bhosle, Aditya Kate, Aditya Sase, Anand Kadav, Aniket Jadhav, Aniruddha Tiwari, Arbaz Sheikh, Arya Jadhav, Atharva Mayer, अथर्व आटकरी, भागवत खामकर, ध्रुव जोशी, गणेश गांगणे, गौरव सालुंके, गौरव शिरसाट, हर्षल सोनावणे, क्षितिज गोसावी, सुहास जाधव, ओंकार मुळे, मौसमी बर्मन, ओम नवले, ओंकार शितोळे, प्रतीक बुजाडे, प्रीती देव उडिगा, ऋषिकेश खोत, रचित कालबांडे, साक्षी, सनिका, श्याम, श्रुती, शुभम, शुभांग, शायजीन, सिद्धार्थ, समित, स्नेहा, सोहम, सुजीत, Vedant, Abu Zaid. Okay. So I'm really thankful to all of you for attending this lecture. This unit is completed. First unit. You will get an assignment on the Google Classroom on based on the first unit for 25 marks. Okay, 5 questions will be there. Each 5 marks. You have to solve that. And for 4 assignments, 100 assignments will get. So each assignment will actually carry 4 marks only. If you go with out of this because you are only 25 marks internal, and we'll solve that, and based on that you will get your final grades. So thank you. I'm just stopping the sharing of the moment and ending the session for us. Okay, thank you.